Hello everybody, welcome back to some more Biome Exile SMP, and before we get into today's episode, I just want to go over a few of the small things that have changed since the last episode went live, and that is, I've removed one bit of glass from there, which is like the smallest thing I've done. I've also added this, which is my place for spruce trees at the moment, because obviously if my mycelium spreads up to there, I'm, gonna have to, remove it and replace it back, because obviously you can't put trees on mycelium, which kind of sucks. So just this little setup for the moment. Maybe we'll make something a bit better looking in the future. And finally, I added a beacon finally, which has haste 2 on it, as you probably can tell from the top right hand corner, just because for now I've been collecting a lot of cobblestone and smooth stone from here, which I need for this project actually, and a few other projects. So having, a haste 2 beacon is going to make all this stuff a whole lot quicker. Now, what the plan is for today's episode is going to be creating another farm in this area, and in fact it's actually going to be on that little bit of a mound right there, basically quite close to here actually, and that is going to be a cactus farm. Now you may be thinking, Milan has a cactus farm, why do you need, or Milan sells cactus, why do you need a cactus farm? Well, I actually need it for my slime farm, funnily enough. The whole idea of that, the way that's going to be built is already sorted and done. It's just getting the resources for the moment, and I am going to need a lot of glass, which I think I've mentioned before, which is why if we come over to my emerald chest over here eventually, you'll see I have a ton of emeralds which I'm going to trade for glass. So I basically have, 27 stacks here, pretty much, and I don't even think that's enough still. I think I used some recently, which is actually means I have just under the amount I need. And if you can imagine 5 glass for every single one of those emeralds, that is a ton of glass we are using for this project, and all of that is going to be stained glass, either of one of 2 colors, and that is going to be normal green glass, which is only a very small amount of it, or lime green glass to match with the slimes, which means for both of those cases we're going to need a ton of cactus and quite a bit of bone meal as well. But I think we've got that sorted out with our skeleton farm down here and this farm right here, and I think we're doing good on that front. But it's the cactus where we are really lacking at the moment, so we need to go and sort that out. So as I said, it's going to be built over there. I already have all the resources ready, and we'll quickly go through what we have. I'm going to do maybe the first 3 or 4 layers maximum on camera, and then I'll do replay mod for the rest. I'm going to go 20 layers high, and that's what I have the resources for right now. And in this chest you'll see what we have. So here's the majority of the items, and here is kind of the extra add-ons, and you'll see why the extra add-ons is 2 chests rather than 1 chest in a minute, and it's mainly because they don't stack, and you'll see why in a second. So coming into here, we have 9 spruce wood planks. Now I'm using spruce, as you can also see here, because similar to Milan, I don't think David, Lord Oprah, has been on recently too much, and I don't think he's going to have all the dark oak wood I need for this project and the next project I'm planning to do, which I plan to do it out of dark oak because I've tried it with that and it looks really great. So right now, I don't know if he's going to have the amount I need, and also I don't really have the money to spend on it because I'm currently trying to spend it all on dark prismarine for the slime farm as well. So I'm currently having to work within my limits, and spruce wood is pretty similar looking, and I think it looks alright. I've done it in my test world and it looks pretty cool with spruce wood, and it'll be a nice change of pace from dark oak and normal oak, all around the place. So we got spruce wood, 80 pieces of sand, because there are going to be 80 cactuses here, or cacti, 576 spruce wood logs, which is all we have here, 167 furnaces right there, 2 chests, which is obviously the 2 chests that we're holding this into at the moment, 60 cobblestone walls, which we only really need 8, but there's a potential that they're going to fall into the cacti, so I want to make sure we have extras, plus cobblestone is super cheap anyway, as we saw from the fact I have a cobblestone generator, so that's not really going to be burdensome on this. We're also going to have 60 or 80 rails rather, which is another thing that's actually going to get given back to us at the end. But I really only need 4 but I just brought the whole amount that I will need in total, just so I don't have to keep running up and down these hoppers getting this stuff back. Speaking of hoppers though, 61 hoppers and a ton of ladders just to make my way up and down, but it's only going to be 20 layers, so that's basically like, I think only just over 1 stack of ladders I'm going to need, but I just brought the extras because I have them. And then we go into this chest, which is the extras chest, which contains hopper minecarts, 80 of which in total. So above every single cactus in this farm, which is obviously going to be on a piece of sand, there is going to be a hopper minecart. And you may be wondering how that's going to happen and how it's not going to get destroyed instantly. We'll get to that when we get to it. I'll show you how that works. There's a specific way we're doing things so that doesn't actually happen. So as I said, I'm going to take the resources over there to that little mound, which is where it's going to be. I'll actually quickly show you the how it's going to be set up. We'll take all the stuff over here and we will start building up. And as I said, I'll do maybe the first 2 to 4 layers maybe on camera, and then the rest I'll do with the replay mod. So in total it's going to be a 5x5 design, so it's going to have 1 pillar here, a gap of 3 here, and then 1 pillar here, and then a gap of 3 here, 1 pillar here, gap of 3 here, 1 pillar here, gap of 3 here, and then pillar obviously there. We'll fill that in, the 9 spruce wood here, and then there'll be logs going, you know, in these gaps here. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get to it. We'll quickly bring over the resources that we need from over here, and I'll see you when we start building. Okay, so I've cleared out my inventory just a little bit, as you can see, and I filled it with a bunch of the other stuff. So this should hold us out for 3 layers, or 3 layers, I think, because we have the spruce wood, we have this disposable stone block, which will show why that's needed in a second. All the furnaces that we need, the hoppers. We've got some spruce wood that should hold us over, spruce wood planks, and we have a total of 12 minecart hoppers and 60 cobblestone walls that we're going to need in order to do this. So, as I said, it's going to be I have a shovel, why don't I just use that? It's going to be that, and that. That is going to be containing these spruce woods here. And then the rest of this is also going to be taken out with these lines here just being the spruce wood again, just giving it a nice, you know, footprint just to have. There you go. And then the rest of this is going to be the 9 spruce wood planks that are here, and we're going to throw this in here for the moment with the rest of my tools and stuff. So that is going to be our starting platformy sort of thing, and then the 2 chests will go into here. So for now, I'm going to have to put that there just to act as a thing we can throw our hopper into. And yeah, we'll have all that stuff ready. Furnaces is what we've got next, so we're just going to do this in a way that means no, you know, front faces of the furnaces are out. So as you can see, it looks pretty nice overall. Obviously the 2 chests will be in here, so we don't have to worry about that. We'll go up here. We'll have the 4 sand will be placed here, and we'll have the cactus placed on there for the moment. And then I'm just going to build this up a little bit just to get us, you know, working out very well. And because the cactus can't have a block next to it, obviously nothing can be this side, so we do have to go 1 higher before doing this, just to give it the frame. And this is what I meant by it has, you know, a line and then 3 blocks, you know, empty blocks, and then a line and then 3 empty blocks. So this will go up 4 more until the line goes over the top again. So at this point we want the disposable stone block, because this stuff will get thrown away in just a second. We'll throw a hopper there, and what's going to happen is the cobble walls are going to go here. I also, yeah, I do have the rail, good. Going to have the rail go at these points in particular, and this is where, you know, obviously the minecart hoppers come in. So we're going to place one there. What happens is we take out the obviously the rail, it's going to go in there, and in theory it should obviously go down to that bottom hopper when we do this. So we're going to take apart this bit, and there we go. So now this should not have the rail, and also should have picked up the stone as well, but we just have to make sure. So I'm using blocks that we don't necessarily need too many of, just in case they don't actually transfer through, because obviously stone is replaceable. Whereas if we were using, let's say, you know, stained stained clay, for example. You know, there's a chance, if there's any chance we'll lose it, I don't want to use it. So there we go. That's that sorted. And then we're going to have to get some sand. So actually, I'm going to pick up... well, I'll do this one right now, and then I actually have to pick up the spare sand we have, because... Actually, no, we should be fine, because this sand will get used, but it will go straight into hoppers. So then that's going to happen, and this hopper goes. Then we're going to do that, and then that starts the new, you know, layers going up. So we can get rid of this, and then go up, you know, a few blocks. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So that will be the base for the next one, and then from here we are going to, with this being the front, well, it doesn't actually matter where the front is, because unlike with the other side, we're going to fill this, you know, entirely through. Now it got picked up, I think, so we'll have to pick that one up in a minute. But this time, you know, we got no chests, so we can just do this and be perfectly fine. And if we go down here quickly, this hopper should contain the 4 rails, 4 stone, a piece of sand, cobblestone wall, and the furnace. So we have all that we need, and then now this will start generating stuff, you know, not straight away, but what's going to happen is the cactus is going to grow, it's going to instantly break because this is in the way. We'll get put into the hopper minecart, which will go into this hopper, which will go down into these, and then into the 2 chests that will be here when we do that. So yeah, I think that actually shows off that, so I think I'll leave it at 1 layer, and then what I'm going to do is I'll bring some ladders with me as well, and make sure that we, you know, build this up and make sure that we know how high we're going. In fact, I might actually build this pillar all the way up, and then we can use that as a guide for the moment, and then we can at least have the ladders there. And then I'm going to go on and switch to having the replay mod on. I'll record all the building of this, and we'll set up a little time lapse of that, which I think will look good. And then at the end of this, we should have a decent little cactus farm starting and making us some stuff. And nothing's grown yet, but if you think about it, we're going to have 80 growing at the same time, and we can always expand it further if needs be. So I'm going to quickly get some spare sand, because as you see from that, I do actually need some, and I will see you once the time-lapse is done, and once the cactus farm has been built. So I was editing this video up and got to the replay mod part of this video, where I had to come into the physical mod and start, you know, getting this time-lapse sorted out. So I came in here, you can see I just, you know, can fly wherever I want, I can play this video, I can do all this stuff down here, all the changes up here, change speed, and everything that you need to be able to make a decent time-lapse in this game. And I came across an issue. So for example, normally I would, you know, start around about here, let's say, pretty much at the start. So let's go all the way to the start quickly. I would start about here, and then what I'd do is I'd put a keyframe and a time keyframe so that, you know, I can set up this this whole timeline and get the video sorted out, and then render out the camera path and then stick it into the video. Now, if I, you know, let's go forward a bit so it actually loads me in, and I'm going to press add position keyframe. It would also do this for time keyframe. And I've been doing this for a few hours now, and it's really got frustrating. And this is why there won't be a time lapse in this video if I can't get this sorted out very soon. But I click here and it says loading entity positions. That's fine. It's got a percentage, 0% out of 100%, we'd assume. And yeah, it's been stuck here on the multiple attempts I've tried this for ages. It's not a case of it having gone to, let's say, 5%, at which point I'd be like, okay, it's just taking a little while to get to 100%. I'll leave it for longer. It's just stayed at 0. Never ever made an indication of going above 0%. Now, I've installed, you know, reinstalled Forge, updated Forge to a new version. I've, you know, made sure I've got the newest version of the replay mod, which I do. And apparently it was this problem I'm having was fixed in the version before this version that I have currently right now. Beta 5, I think, it was fixed, and beta 6 is what we have right now. So if this persists, and if you're seeing this, I guess, that means there's not going to be a time lapse, unfortunately, in this episode. If I get it sorted out, I'll maybe release it with a different episode, or maybe entirely separately. But for now, unfortunately, it looks like the replay mod is not really usable for me to make a time lapse. Maybe I'll try a different version quickly. And yeah, either way, if you're seeing this, then it means, you know, I've tried even more than I have now, and it's still not worked out. So apologies for that. I will release it either in a new episode or separately if it does get working. But for now, unfortunately, we can't have one. Okay, so the whole thing is now completed. We are at the top of it, and you may have seen multiple times during that I had to go down to the very bottom again to pick up some items, and throughout that entire time, we had made 43 more cactus, which is pretty cool, and there should even be some more if we jump down here ever so quickly left to look for. So there should be a few items down here. 18 more cactus, 4 rails, some stone, a bit of sand, and cobblestone wall, which meant I lost 3 in total. Maybe there's a few around here. They probably despawned. Oh, there's 1. That means 2 of them probably fell down here and despawned. Either that or they might have got hit onto the cactus, which is entirely possible. But this thing is doing a decent job. I will quickly pick up, if I have my axe, pick up these 2 chests, put them in here, and now we actually have this starting creation here. We basically almost have a stack already, which is pretty damn good. I'm also going to pick up the rest of my materials for my inventory back, and let's just put whatever remains of that. I need to sort out my inventory now, which shouldn't be too difficult. However, I had it. It should be something like that-ish. I'll go back to the beginning of the video and be able to see, but you know, pretty much, yeah, that should be it. But yeah, that is 64 there, 65. They seem to be doing it in 2s most of the time. But yeah, that's now sorted out. I kind of just want to leave that for an hour now and see how much we get for an hour of that. I'll also take down the ladder while we're at it. But I kind of want to just, you know, put down a stopwatch and then AFK here for 1 hour, and at the end of that hour, you know, see what we get. So I might actually do that once we've taken down this, and then we can sort of guess roughly the hourly output of this. I'll take out obviously what's in there currently, and then we'll see how much we're getting per hour, and then I'll see how many hours I really then have to AFK before I can get the amount I need. And I'll also need to do some AFKing because, funnily enough, there's a lot of iron has gone into this. Hoppers and hopper minecarts, which is, you know, 10 iron per hopper minecart. There was 80 of those, so that's 800 iron. Plus, you know, an extra, you know, however many, 61 hoppers, which, you know, 61, that's what, like 130? No, yeah, 125, something like that. No, that's an entire lie. Whatever, 100, we get 5 iron per hopper. For 61 hoppers, and then 10 iron per hopper minecart for 80, which is obviously the 800. I can do that math, but I can't do any other, apparently. Also, I realized about halfway through, annoyingly, that haste beacon does not affect us over here. So it's a little too far away, which would have been really helpful, but unfortunately not. Right, so what I'm going to do then is we now have that sorted out. I am going to take all these out, and then I am going to now leave it for 1 hour. So I'm going to bring up a stopwatch. For 1 hour, I'm going to AFK here, and then at the end of that, we'll see how much we should be getting roughly every single hour here. So I'll take that one out, and then as soon as I stop recording, I'll take whatever's out, and then I'll do it from there. So I'll stop recording now, and I'll see you in about an hour. Okay, so we have roughly 10 seconds left to the hour AFKing here, and as soon as that goes off, which you might not be able to hear, but my phone's just gone off, we can now look in here and see what we got. So we got 4 stacks and 8. So yeah, that's pretty good, I'd say, for an hour of AFKing. You know, 80 in total up there, and, you know, now, you know, an extra 1 has just been added on top of what we made from the time we were also there. That's another stack of 9. So we have, what, 5 stacks and 18 cactus. And, you know, even more are coming through still, and they will continue to go. And obviously, it's not a case of just AFKing at this place. It is also, you know, I can have this running while over here, for example, you know, doing another thing, building another thing, or whatever I need to do in whatever situation I am, as long as I'm not too far away. And it also looks alright. I would prefer something like this. This is obviously technically like 7 by 7 instead of 5 by 5. So you have this kind of ability to have this indented area here, and it looks a bit, you know, less uniform. But I do like, you know, it's got a lot of different colors. You've got the spruce, you've got the sand, you got the brown from the spruce, the grayish color from the furnaces and the hoppers, the sand color, and then the green, nice green from the cactus, and also the chest, I guess, also adds a bit of color. And it goes quite far up, and again, it can go even further. And, you know, maybe we'll put something close, you know, another side of here, so it's not, you know, kind of its solitary thing. Maybe that'll come, but I think it's a better choice of using the spruce than it is, you know, carrying on with all this wood here, or not wood, choosing wood over these stone bricks here. And it looks like this is actually starting to, you know, fill up again after I use so many on my villagers, which I am still working on my villagers. They're a bit of a pain. I ended up rebuilding this again, and then that became a bit of an issue. And then currently, the problem I have is I don't have much sugarcane growing, so getting paper is my biggest frustration. I'm looking for good villagers at the moment for trading and such. But yeah, I did rebuild this eventually, and it's still doing exactly the same thing where villagers are getting pushed out to here sometimes. So I don't know why it happens, but I don't know. Maybe it's because it's glass. I'm not sure, but hopefully it gets fixed fairly soon. If not, you know, it's only 2 or 3 villagers that get stuck there, and I think none of them have gotten pushed into here once these two are here, because hitboxes, I guess. So they probably, if I keep those guys there, they'll probably just stay, you know, carrying on exactly the same, and in the meantime, I just have to wait for stuff to be generating, such as, you know, chicken from here. I added a lot more eggs to there, and sugarcane, of which we have some amount, and we will be switching that out fairly soon, but I need some more resources first. But I think that's gonna be it for now, for this episode. We made this thing, you know, just generating. I still gotta work out how much exactly I've got to get, but, you know, it's doing a very good job, definitely, in the time that we have it. So I can just AFK while working it all out, and then we should be good. But that's gonna be it for now. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.